Hey everybody, Ed Weeks Jr. Coming to you today, simply, quickly waiting outside of a pharmacy right now for a script to talk about something I forgot, and that is I started to do this week's weekly again to really act as a diary, to capture the journey, right? So I've got, the problem is I'm a sales guy, I'm a marketing guy, so I'm always apt to talk about my businesses, but the reality is I was doing this more for a diary, a video diary, and I forgot that part. So I'm getting back to that. It's the end of May here. It's May 31st. I started walking pretty much regularly, almost on the daily, trying to do it every day. You know, life does get in the way. Things happen. Weekends can be tough, but getting on my feet on the pavement for 5 days a week is awesome right now. And now that my son's basketball is over after this weekend, AAU season comes to a close, we will get after the weekends as well. Super stoked. I just shot a short video, and when I was uploading, I realized I wear this shirt too much. But with that being said, putting a 5K together this morning, walking it in under 5 minutes. I did 4.5 miles total, but I was super excited to crank up the pace. I was by myself. Last few times I had my wife Vanessa with me, but this morning I was by myself and I was able to crank out a 3.1 whatever 5K is, a little over 3 miles in less than 50 minutes. I was cranking this morning. I actually ended up going 4.5, and I was about 15:12 average mile. So really back to where I was 4 or 5 years ago when I was cranking sub 15-minute miles. But that's basically jogging for other people. Thank God at 6'3" I have long legs and I can do that. But again, the point of this video is not to ramble on about this morning's efforts, but it's to really get back on track. I said video, I should have said video and podcast, because I'm going to upload this as well to the Weeks Weekly podcast that you can catch on all your favorite channels. And I first off want to thank anyone who has listened to this, anyone who has viewed videos that I put out there. I am greatly appreciative of anyone listening, but the point of this really is to capture the journey. I think far too many people in the spotlight are already ripped, right? I'm not. I'm overweight. I'm down 5 pounds in May, so I'm excited that I'm 280 on the dot again. I've been as high as 300. I've been as low as 235 in my ups and downs of weight struggle, which is weird for a guy who was, 6'3", 165 and couldn't gain weight when he was younger. Thyroid issues, other things have come into my fold that have made me change drastically. Body weight, it's gone way up, but it's no excuse, right? A few months back I got a calcium scan, right, that has put me on this new journey of health. 70+% blockage, and you're like, holy shit, am I gonna have a heart attack in the next few years or any day? And then losing people close to you in your life and saying, wow, it's time to change, right? Thank God I have a great cardiologist. I am on a statin. I am, again, after the walking, my cholesterol was high, blood pressure high. Great news, the last time my blood pressure was 120/80. I haven't been that perfect in a long time on blood pressure, but also my cholesterol was the lowest it's been in ages. Just super stoked by, a transition, and that's just adding a little bit of walking. Now that I'm adding daily walks, next week we're going to add the weight room. Sorry, I'm looking at traffic here as I do this, but we're going to add the weight room, get into some weight training. Just super excited about really putting the investment in my feet, in my soon-to-be weightlifting. It's really investing in myself for the better future me, right? It's crazy how lost you can get when you're out here running after just financial rewards, and sometimes you just forget. So again, back to the point of this video diary, I'm hoping someday in the future, 10, 15, 20 years from now, when my kids maybe check this out, when they're going through their own battles, God willing, I'm still here, but God forbid I'm not, they can see that their dad was a human being like everyone else, struggling. Look, the struggle is real. I've taken short cuts to in my businesses, getting into businesses, I've taken shortcuts, added debt that, I used to finance basically outside of business, and knowing that now that, I got to pay the piper. And it's not, I'm not whining, I'm not crying, I'm not looking for sympathy, but you make mistakes. You live in the short term. Now I'm investing every day in myself, listening and reading books, listening to other podcasts, being grateful, having gratitude for being able to go through this journey. I am also grateful that I was dumb enough to make mistakes. And then I could look and say, holy shit, whew, that's a lot of debt. But it's all good because I have the tools, I have the skills, I have the abilities to build businesses, to help other businesses, and to monetize that. And that's what I've been doing. And that's what I'm going to continue to do. And it's not always smooth, but that which doesn't kill us makes us stronger, right? So I guess the point of today is to get back on track, get back into capturing the daily grind of really just trying to make a better life in health and wealth, love, relationships. Love my wife. We get stronger in our relationships all the time. It hasn't been perfect. Love my kids. Again, hasn't been perfect. No. Definitely tough on my daughters as they grew up, but because I was a lazy piece of shit when I was younger, and I didn't want them to be that way. And, some of it panned out. They were able and fortunate enough to play high-level sports, which, sometimes they don't value that and look back as a heartache, but I think someday they'll look back and say, now I know why my dad did what I did. I'm easier on my son, but I'm not, because I'll expect more from him as he goes, but I'm just trying to do it in a different tone, and I'm young, and I'm older and wiser now, right? I've understood the mistakes that I've made. I live in the gain, which is awesome, not in the gap. If you don't know what that is, look up The Gap and the Gain, great book. Definitely envisioning my better future self now, so I can become that a lot faster. 10x, 100x, looking at goals that are so much higher than I've ever thought in all things that I do. So that's it for today. Just getting back on track as we close out May of 2024, May 31st. Amazing. Now I got to get in and get that script because it should be done. And I hope you have a wonderful and blessed day. All is well. God is good. God is great. Life is great. Peace.